welcome back. I got a project coming up I want to use the chainsaw on. We got a pine tree down. It's about a 40-foot on a property in town. And next to it's another dead tree. She's worried. She wants to take that down. Then there's a bunch of scrub brush, small trees and things along a hedgerow. And, you know, I mentioned while I'm there I could clean all that up. I could grind up the brush, clean it all up, and she goes, good. And after that, I'd like you to put up a fence. So she wants a vinyl fence. Well, I used the chainsaw last when I was doing some firewood. And it got fall. We got into this garage project where I just kind of put everything on the back burner to get this thing assembled so that I could get in here, get some heat, get a project table, you know, work on the lift, that kind of thing. I actually have a table here I can work on. In the background you can see we got the zero-turn engine tore apart and we're trying to fix that. Parts are on order. In the meantime, the next project is I want to use a saw. The last time I used this, it bogged down and did not have a lot of power. And then when I go to start it, it pulled over hard. So we got to take a look at this. It's a Poulan Pro, the PP4218A. It's only a 42-inch 42cc 18-inch bar. But what I liked about the model was it's the toolless design where you turn this, tighten your chain, lock it. And I thought I'd try it, and I really like it. I think they could have designed this cover a little better to lock in tighter. So this tends to loosen a little bit. It looks like I put a new chain on it. That looks pretty new. But what I want to do is figure out why this is bogging down. It could be something as simple as plugged air filter, whatever. But there was a lot of debris up in here. So, you know, I reached in, cleaned it out with my hand. It wasn't good enough. So I threw it in the parts washer. It got a lot of the filth off it. Now everything's all wet and slimy. But let's take this apart and see if we can figure out what's wrong with it. Hopefully it's nothing major because I'll be buying another saw. This one I got used. The guy used it one time and he said he cut up a tree on his lawn and that was it. So I bought it used. So I probably wouldn't have bought this brand new. I would have bought something different. But I like this. See, this has just a lock, spring, tighten. I like that. And then this piece, sometimes you have to loosen it to get it off in there. And the chain is hit it a few times. See that? That's a little rough shape. Looks like something's burnt off here. I don't recall what it used to look like. But your tensioner, you just spin this. Anyway, it's simple. You know, it works good. Alright, get our chain and bar off of here. This bar, I think, is a little worn. I want to take a look at it. I'm not a chainsaw pro, for sure. See, that chain's pretty nice. Pretty sharp. We'll hand dress that when we're done. I think I used that on a face cord or something, and that was it. The bar, that looks like it's seen better days. Wish they had a grease fitting, right? The edges are a little sharp. I think what I'll do is I'll file this. It looks like I ground it once, but I think I'll file it a little bit. Right there, it's pretty sharp. And probably tighten the chain too much. What else we got here? Your oiler, there's some junk down in there. Gunk. I'll probably set it back over there and clean it up a little more. Well, look at this. Looks like there's tab. I don't know what the idea of it is. Maybe to keep junk out. Something's melted right here. Check that out. I don't know if you can see that. That's not good. Bring it over and look at it. Maybe you can see it. That's plastic melted. Let's see if the engine turns over, if it's swelled right up to it. Let me see here. Yeah, it turns over, but the clutch is dragging, isn't it? That's probably our power problem right there. It's not a lot of clearance. Down here is roughly 1/8 of an inch between that little clip and the clutch. Up here, there's nothing. That's great. Looks like we ought to pull this little clip, pull off our gear. That looks a little worn too. See if the clutch comes right off, and then I don't know what's involved here. Probably the whole, yeah, it's a half a case here by the looks. Maybe I can come in here and just grind some of that plastic away. Maybe I got some, right there's a little blue. Maybe I got something in there and had a little fire, you know. Sometimes you get sparks and sawdust jamming, just melt that thing. I think I want to grind that out of there. That's our problem. I don't have to go any farther, do I? The screen and the spark arrestor looks alright. Usually if that gets plugged with oil like you're running rich, you'll lose a lot of power. So I don't have to monkey with that. The engine idled good. It just wouldn't rev up. Didn't have no power. And it started well. So I'm going to figure out if we can get in there with a little Dremel tool or something. Cut that out. I don't know if I can just get this with a little screwdriver. Sometimes you get behind them and pop them out without them spinning 10 times and flying through the air. Sometimes 2 screwdrivers. Almost got it. There we go. Try not to bend it. That just holds your chain on, right? And then, oh, this don't even turn. Ugh. I hear a kitty wants to come out. Let's see. Sounds like the squirrel. Oh yeah, that's way too much tension on it. No wonder it's got no power. This thing will run super good now with some clearance in there. Probably when it was running, it would stay warm enough. It's almost liquid plastic to turn. But as far as that clutch to come off, it may not with the plastic bent over the front edge of it. I think we got to go after that right there first. What can we use? I would say a little Dremel tool, put a little cutter on it or something. I would think the clutch should slide right off in there. Might be plastic melted underneath it, so I definitely want to get that out. And no, I don't know what I'm doing. But I can't leave it like this. I want to use this chainsaw like tomorrow. We got snow coming in a couple of days. We're already into April, but I want to see if I can get them trees done before the yard gets all messy. I got a little cutter in there. I should be able to get rid of all this high plastic with it, but it's not sharp enough to fit down in there. We'll start with this though. See if that works. It does. Oop. Easy, easy. Now I think I'll put a small drill bit or something in there. I don't know what what's in this kit. I got a couple of these kits. I've had them for years, but not real organized, you know. You know me, I take my tools on the road all the time. I don't have a set up nice shop because of that. Well, we don't have a whole lot to go by here. There's something. This little, what is it? It's like a little diamond edge or something, isn't it? It's got little cutters in it. Where's the wrench? Yeah, unplug it first, right? Sure. Well, I definitely will now. Pulling on that one. Come on. Sometimes a cop is tight on them things. Because I imagine that bit could do some damage on the skin. Alright, so let's try this. I'll turn it way down. It's working, I think. Not really sharp enough. It'd be a lot easier if I get that clutch off in there. And like I said, I'm not sure if it pops right off or not. It looks at it's moving on the shaft, but I think with these bands on it, the bands are on the outside. These bands probably are what made a groove in it. So I need clearance. I could heat up an old screwdriver and just set it down in there and meld it. I don't want to tear a hole in it because I don't want dirt to get up. I don't know what it is. I guess it's just a chain brake guard or something. But I'll monkey with this a minute, see if we can get that clutch out of there. What I'm doing is heating up an old screwdriver. I put in a round disc and broke it right away. But I heat up a screwdriver. And look how I can move that plastic over. It says here, danger, spring under tension. But see, I can use this torch and melt the plastic to give me access to that band right there. I think that's going to work. Probably ought to put a mask on. It kind of stinks. Plastic! Everything's plastic. I don't know. It's got to probably be a respirator. Masks don't do much. See the room that just made? I think I got it now. I'm just going to monkey with it. I think if I can get the clutch out of there and give me more clearance, I think I got some debris or something stuck up in there. Got her hot. I don't know if any of you guys had a similar problem to this before. I never seen anything like it. I can see if they were metal, but not having clearances that tight on plastic don't make sense. Something that spins 10, 12,000 RPM. Get a little dirt in there, of course, what's it going to do? Maybe somebody's already junked their saw because they couldn't do this. This doesn't have that many hours on it yet. Another poor design problem, right? Is the steel any better? Do they have a better brake system on them? Well, that's almost got me rooming off. So, I'll show you in a minute. Well, I can pull the brake back now. This part of that disc I was using broke right off. You shouldn't be allowed to make something that cheesy. So now, that's freed up. I should come off in there. Shut this noise off. Look at that. Yeah, the brake's still working. So I think I just want to clear the plastic around. I don't want the brake to pop out. And the tabs apparently hold the brake from going too far. I bet you a piece of junk got stuck in there and overheated that. And the brake was half applied or something. Well, it looks like I can get that clutch drum off. Scrub it a little bit. Let's see if the brake will stay on. Just like a car drum, it's got a little lip on the inside. Look at how bad that. Yeah, I'll keep running it, you know. Probably not too much to get one of them. And then there's a little junk down in here. Probably going to get that. But on the brake assembly, that cooled down enough with that plastic. See, that's right over top of it again. So I'm going to remove more plastic. I would think you'd have to have, you know, that's probably 3/16 the width of the screwdriver all the way around. It just binds right up here. So I'm going to whittle away at that. And once I'm happy, this will click back and so on. We'll be good. Otherwise, this looks like a throwaway, you know. You pretty much have to get the half case or whatever. There's no separate piece here. It goes all the way to the center. And I wouldn't do that, not for a Poulan. So if I can get this thing fixed, then I'll be able to, you know, get it running through the job and then probably be looking out for a new saw. That's a dumb design, as usual. Well, I whittled away at it, and now it drops in there. Let's see if the brake works without putting a clip on. It does. Is that a professional fix? No, it's probably, we have to replace, I would assume, this whole half assembly, but I'm going to put this back together, and then I'll probably heat up the screwdriver or something here, and I'll get these edges down smooth because it's going to catch debris. I see the oiler's working good. Just finished cleaning this out. Maybe I'll put this back in a parts washer, get this cleaned up, and then we'll start assembling this. So back together, slid that clip on. See how easy it spins now. So this might work for a while, but that plastic was all melded right over. Now I can see the edge of the spring, so probably won't last forever here, but cheap fix today. This is going to cover our oil, and then I just touch this up a little bit. Good enough. Now we'll put our chain on. I want to dress up the chain, but I think it's brand new. I'll probably sharpen a couple chains so I can have them with me. They're just pine, and I don't think there's nails or anything like that, so I don't think I'm going to be going through many chains on that little job. And I'll talk to the homeowner to see if I should take the chipper down there and grind them up. If she wants them left on the property, which is better. Or if she'd rather I not make a mess with a wood chipper down there and just bring all the brush home and dump it and burn it, or deal with it when we can. We cleaned this cover up really nice. And then just the only trick to hooking any of these up is this is exactly even with the back bolt right now. And this is just a hair off. And we'll move that like that. This should have a hook in, tip down, and it just sits on. Pretty close. Pretty close. Should go on. Wiggle, wiggle. There, I think it's on. But see how quick this thing is. My fingers weren't slimy and the machine all slimy here. Bring that in to touch. And then just turn the thumb wheel here. And it's a quick chain adjust. I don't know if you can even see that, can you? Yeah. But just spin that thumb wheel. So while you're using the chainsaw, sometimes you can just go partial turn. You don't want it so loose it makes a lot of noise. You don't want it so tight it's getting the bar too hot. Let's see what we got here. That might be a little too tight. A lot of times they'll loosen up just a little right away. And then I'm going to go get some oil and gas mixture, and we'll fire it up. Take her outside. Alright, it's starting to rain, so I'm not even going to monkey with this much more, but getting wet here. This has last year's gas and stuff, oil. Hopefully it'll run. The brake sounds good, but here's a choke. I like to stand my foot in unless I got boots on. It might run, huh? Prime it some more. So the brake's on. It's raining out here, but she just got the parts washer diesel that I use in it, making it smoke, obviously. But I'm going to put fresh fuel, fresh oil, take a couple chains with me, couple used chains I got, sharpen them up. I think we're back in business, and I'll pay attention to the debris that's in the guard there. I think something got in there and overheated it. But if you have a similar problem with your Poulan Pro or similar there, then go ahead and check that clutch and check the plastic on that. That could be your power problem. Thank you for watching. Hopefully we'll see you at that tree job. Stay tuned.